Hello, this is Jim for the Slot Car Drag Race Proxy World Challenge. I prepared this video to help you get your car to and from our event as safely and cost effectively as possible. I found when thinking about this that it can be difficult to find the appropriate size boxes and to buy some minimum amount of packaging material to package the cars well. So you have the option of purchasing a shipping kit from us. It's available when you register your car or on the Nomad Raceway's website. The boxes come in 3 sizes, small, medium, and large. The small size is intended for a standard no-bar car. The medium size is for dragsters and other longer cars, and there's even a large size which will handle the largest car that would fit on our track in case you're building something really radical. Here's our small shipping kit. We selected a box of the right size that is an end opening box because they're the strongest. Let's open it up. Now, the only thing that's not included in the kit, we expect you should have a sharp knife at home and maybe a little bit of masking tape or some other easily torn tape. In the box you'll find tape, bags for your parts, if any, and a roll of bubble wrap that fills the box and a Sharpie. So, the first thing we'd like you to do is to look at your registration, either online, on your email, or if you printed it out, find the entry number. The entry number should be marked on the car with your Sharpie. In some cases, let's take a car here, in some cases you may be able to write directly on the chassis. Of course, that could always be removed later with a solvent. Or you may want to mark your number on tape and apply it to the car. So using the sharp point of the Sharpie, I'm going to mark my car as entry number 3000, like so. And we'll apply it to the underside of the car. Now, just in case that number could get smeared when we are handling the cars, I'd like you to take a little bit of the clear packaging tape, you might trim that to size, and apply it over the written number. This is just to be sure that that number doesn't get smeared or obscured. All right, so the car has its registration number on it. You want to put that same registration number on the box. We recommend that you put it on the small end of the box, whether it's one of ours or one you've found on your own. Make it nice and bold. Car entry number 3000. The roll of bubble wrap in the box is enough to completely fill the box and surround the car, and in most cases all you really need to do is to place the car on the wrap and roll it up gently. Just roll it gently in the wrap, keeping it centered so that you've got wrap on both ends. The object is to give 2 inches of padding on all sides of the car. So we're just going to roll it up, like so. Now, if your car is large, you may find that you've actually got more wrap than needed to go in the box. In this case, it looks like it'll fit. So I just want to secure the wrap with some easily torn or removable tape. Now the point here is I've supplied tape but this tape is nearly invisible and can't be torn by hand. So if you use the tape on here, we're going to have to cut it off, or it might be hard to tear. So we would really like you to use a softer, more easily removable or tearable tape. Any kind of masking tape or non-transparent tape will do. You want to gently pinch the ends of the wrap together, gently, and secure them with the tape. So we will have 2 inches of cushioning on all sides of the car. And that cushioning is easily removable and reusable for the return trip. We put the car in the box. We like these end loading boxes because they're strong. And let's talk about other things that you might want to send. We recommend, especially if you're sending a car that you've done a lot of special work to, you'd like to make sure that the judges notice the special things that you've done in detailing, preparing the car. Or if you send a car for a category and it's an obscure car that seems like it might not belong in that category. Sometimes the early Pro Stock cars don't look like current Pro Stock cars. So it would be a good idea to include a photo of the real car. That would help show that you have modeled it correctly, and might also document that that car is in the correct class. So you can put whatever you want on a documentation sheet, but those are some recommendations. And if you include that with your car, it will stay with the car when the judges look at it. And that will help them understand what they're seeing. The other thing that you may be sending, if you've chosen to take the optional second and third pass with the pit crew, where you will be making changes to the car, you'll want to print out and send the pit crew checklist. We recommend that you include that, insert it in one of the bags. Now, the pit crew checklist is for pass 2 and pass 3 of your optional additional runs. So I think I would mark the bags 2. So bag 2 and bag 3. Wouldn't hurt to include my registration number as well. Entry number 3000, and parts for pass 2, and my pit crew checklist will go in one of these bags. Parts for pass 3 will go in the other bag, and those bags, since the parts generally don't need much padding, can just be inserted into the box. Same thing if you've elected an elimination round. You may have a sheet and a bag for parts to go with that. When you've got your car with a number on it, the forms, it's time to seal the box. In sealing the box, I would seal it well on all the seams, especially if you're using a box with a seam down the side. I would tape the seam thoroughly. At least in both directions. If you're sending multiple cars, there's a trick. You can save yourself some ship cost by ganging the boxes together. What I mean by that is if you order more than one ship kit from us, or if you find your own, they can be grouped like this. What we've done is we've taken two of the same size boxes, taped them together all the way around the seam between the two boxes, and also taped around this way to securely bind the two boxes together. In this way you can ship them as one shipment, which will be less expensive than shipping the boxes separately. Also, each car will have its own box, and that gives it the best protection. I can be a little nervous about multiple cars in a box, but if you pad them thoroughly like we have here, that can work, but separate boxes would be even better. Some cars might require a little more attention than that. An example would be a longer car with wheelie bars and some delicate protrusions. In this case we have headers and the blower. You might have a wing that are a little fragile, and so we have some suggestions on how to prepare them better. In this case, of course, this car would be a tight fit in the small box, and we wouldn't have 2 inches on both ends. So we should go for a medium-sized box with a car of this size. I have one here, and we will unpack it. So, same materials were included in this kit: the bag and the wrap. So, before we roll a car like this up in the wrap, as we did with the other, here's a tip. If you cut some smaller sheets of the wrapping material and roll them up, like so, you can make some pads that will help protect the protruding areas. Now, because I'm going to use masking tape to secure them, and I'm not sure that I want to put tape directly on the car because it might possibly damage the finish or pull a decal off. So I'm going to take a little bit of wrap and just put maybe one layer around the car where I'm going to be taping. So that I'm taping on the wrap and not on the car itself. That's fine. Then I'm going to take the pads that I've made and put them on top of the car or alongside the car to prevent the weight of the car from resting on those protruding areas inside the package. So we can make up our little pads like so. In this case, I'm going to rest them against the car so that the weight does not press directly on the delicate part. And then a little bit of masking tape. We can secure them in place. Like so. The idea is that now, as the car moves in the box, or the weight of the car is not pressing on the delicate parts. All right. So in this case, the only thing that I think is fragile is maybe that blower, though it's actually pretty sturdy. But those headers really shouldn't be supporting the entire weight of the car. So we've added these little pads or cushions before we wrap the car up. These are not in a position that they'll be hurt, and the wheelie bars and front wheels should be sturdy enough to make the trip. So at this point, it's the same as the previous situation, where we're going to roll the car up. Until we've got at least 2 inches of cushion on all sides. Cut off any excess that we think we have. And again, we'd like to secure the wrap with tape that's easily removed so that we don't have to cut it or fight with it to get it off of your car. And it also makes it easy for us to reuse that wrap so that your car gets wrapped just as well on the return trip. All right, nice and cushy, and that car's ready to go in its box. So the other thing that the next step really would be to create your label. And we researched every shipping company we could think of, from UPS to Postal Service to DHL and so forth. And the only one we found that allows you to create your own return label that can be used to get the car back to you is FedEx. Now the advantage of doing that is if you create your label, you know exactly what it's going to cost you, and you won't be paying any handling fee or any estimated shipping cost. You'll pay only the actual cost for the return. So we'd like you to print your return label, include it in the package along with your parts and your registration paperwork. All of that will go in the box. It'll arrive safely, and you'll get it back the same way. Now, if you have a FedEx business account, you can use that account to create the return label. If you don't have a FedEx business account, FedEx has permitted us to tell you that you can create one. You don't necessarily have to have a business. You can just follow the instructions on the website to create a FedEx business account, and that will allow you to create the return label. Also, business accounts receive much lower shipping rates than residential accounts. So do follow the instructions from on the website to create your FedEx label, and put the label on the box. You can print it on normal paper and tape it securely with the provided tape, or if you have a label printer, you can use a label printer to send your race car to the event. Thank you for watching our shipping tips video. I look forward to seeing your entries in the Slot Car Drag Race Proxy World Challenge.